Hey, everyone, welcome back to the M&R Show. I'm Ron,
And I'm Malcolm.
and we
Hey,
are giving you all our recap of the NBA's conference finals. We get
hey
into that
man.
Boston-Miami series. We see what Malcolm back on today.
Hey man, isn't it a beautiful day today, Ron? Like,
It's sunny, I
Ron,
guess. Sunny out
Ron,
there,
no,
but
and it's sunny outside. Yeah, I know you want to ignore everything else, but isn't it a beautiful day to come to say, hold on, let me make sure I put it up there. You know, before we can start it off, one thing is I seen Ron literally the day before, yesterday. I
yeah,
had my Celtics pants on, everything like that. And finally got some pictures posted. Finally, pictures that we took.
coming
Finally,
soon, coming very soon.
coming very soon. But I just love the fact that everybody was talking smack, and now we're here to get to the point. So I know we're gonna have to start off with the recap because that's the big thing to talk about, And the recap to this game is the fact that the Celtics played defense and almost lost it.
It was. This game was very. It was a crazy game.
Like it was crazy. I mean, first we can just start off with what Boston did, and number one, this whole series, I can say Boston played defense, and the only thing that was going to lose them the game was turnovers. Literally, they turned the ball over so much that any team can come back in the game, and if they don't turn the ball over, nobody can score against them. We've seen plenty of times that Miami gave chances of turnovers, missed shots by Boston Celtics and stuff like that, and Boston really capitalized on, not Boston, but Miami really capitalized on it. But I like to see that, Jayson Tatum would still be able to make plays at the end of the fourth quarter. I think that if you look at the game, we've seen when Jayson Tatum had the ball, we've seen the plays that he was able to make and stuff like that. I love Marcus Smart to death, but them 5 missed shots that was happening was something that we just can't have again. And we lucked out. We definitely lucked out on that. But Jayson Tatum did a very good job. Jayson Tatum, he did what he needs to get done as far as playmaking ability, shot making ability. He was full for doing what he had to do. Jaylen Brown did his things early in the first half and middle in the second half too. This team has done a very good job. I'm a happy man right now. I give Al Horford credit for finally going to the NBA Finals.
Finally, Al, good guy.
He finally going to the NBA Finals. Hey, we did what we had to do. Beginning of the year, so much stuff happened. People started talking to us, writing us off. Ron, G, everybody saying that we need to trade Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, talking about something nobody never done before. Even Kawhi and Paul George haven't done it before. But look at us. Look at us. Look at these Celtics. Now you go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just reading this morning, looking at different articles, looking at the stat sheet, looking at players, seeing I'm just thinking at the series. It was okay. Basically, before every game was a blowout, so it was terrible to watch. Then with game 6, game 7 were both, I say, really good games that I think even you can see by the Twitter responses, everyone was tuned in. So those were the 2 best games of the series, I can say. It's crazy. He's looking at game by game. The Heat just don't have enough scores. But saying that, it went to 7 games though. So it's how did this even get to that point? Kyle Lowry even yesterday had 15 points. It seemed like he took 15 shots. I mean, he drew 1,000 fouls, but that's his only value to the team is being annoying. He gets the charge on Jaylen Brown in the fourth quarter. It's a huge turn in the game. He's getting multiple charges. We just know what he does. He's annoying. He's going to get steals. He does stuff like that. He's going to make the open 3 sometimes. But they have no other creators besides Jimmy Butler. He's their only shot creator. Somehow Victor Oladipo, this is his first time really playing in the whole playoffs, is this series. Because Tyler Hero's out. He can't play. PJ Tucker, he's not creating shots. Jimmy was their only guy. So looking at what Boston did, they have at least multiple players there, at least 2 we know for a fact are capable of scoring. And Marcus Smart, on some nights, is capable of being a third scorer. So I think that was a real interesting point. And then, getting to just the last shot, I was just on Twitter for hours reading, seeing what people are saying about the last shot. In Second Spectrum released, it was a 29% chance of him making it. I don't care what Second Spectrum has to say about that. If I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm taking that shot. I think Ramona Shelburne said on ESPN this morning, scare money don't make no money. I'm gonna go out on my own way. I'm gonna have to live my own decisions. You have to. If I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm not going to overtime. Who else? Yesterday played 48 minutes.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I feel you.
Jimmy,
feel you.
like, I'm taking that shot. I ain't gonna lie. When Marcus Smart said, "Oh damn," because I thought it was going into, it was on track. I was like, "Nah, no way." Like, it was. If he makes that shot, I'm like, he's legit. Like, nah. So I get why he took the shot. Also, I mean, people like he could have drove by Al Horford. I mean, Malcolm could tell you, like, that's not a scrub at the rim right there. I think. I mean, he could have maybe, outran Al Horford. But Al Horford's been getting ISO all year. Like, they don't, like, him and Rob Williams, even though they're centers, when they get switched on, like, you don't go at them. So it's like, not saying Jimmy couldn't have scored it 2, but 1, he didn't want to go to overtime, and 3, he didn't want to go at Al Horford or risk having to get a foul from the refs. So I think the last shot wasn't a bad shot. I just had to leave it out there. And my last thing is really just like, I guess we finally got to see a good battle between Tatum and Butler the last 2 games of the series. Before, they were both iffy. Like, one was good, one was bad, or one was like decent and one was like excellent. So I think the final 2 games, we got a chance to really see like they're the 2 best players in the series go back and forth at least.
Yeah, I mean, the last shot from Jimmy Butler really scared me in a minute. I know a lot of people say, like, the better option was a pull-up jumper, and they said, like, people shoot like 46%. I think Jimmy Butler shoot like 46% on pull-up jumpers and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's like that was just a better shot. In my opinion, I feel it. I just think that the way the refs was calling fouls on Jimmy Butler, I think that Jimmy Butler had a chance just to drive it in on Al Horford. But I mean, hey, he tried to do the kill shot. At the end of the day, he did play like 48 minutes, and for him to go another 5 minutes with the defense, I don't think that he was able to give all that, exert as much energy as he's been doing so far, because he barely was out game 6. He barely was sat down at all. And then game 7, he definitely did what he had to do. I give him props for props due, because at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler did what he needed to do. He did what he had to do. Bam had a 25-point game. He was, like I said, in the 4th quarter, we didn't hear from him. But in the first 3 quarters, for them to at least get to this point where they're at right now, Bam did his part in being that second score. Next year, I think Miami, he has a lot of things to look for. They are an old team, so, health is such a big thing. That's something we talked about beginning of the season. And we're still talking about it now because it's such a big thing. So we got to see out what they're doing next year. But Jimmy Butler do need help, though. Where are you going to find it from? Tyler Hero, his contract extension is due soon.
I'm good. I want to be on record. I'm good.
You're good on Tyler Hero.
I'm giving him a Spencer Dinwiddie $16 million to $18. If he's trying to get more than that, he can kick rocks.
I've been telling people that. I said, yo, like, that's crazy. When the Heat beat the Celtics in the bubble, I told people talking about Tyler Hero is going to be this person, be the next guy. I said, no. Nah. Tyler Hero at best is going to be a 6th man of the year. And to his credit, he reached that ceiling way quicker than I thought. So I give props to him, but I just don't think Tyler Hero is a starter. And people was like, well, it doesn't matter. He can be a good scorer off the bench. Yeah, but situation-wise, if he's not making his shots, what else is he doing? He's not doing anything else for you.
Like, he was hurt, but
he was hurt. And but I said Boston would love for him to play, because if he's not making shots, he's gonna get killed. He's going to get killed. He doesn't need to be on the court. And I'm really happy to see this. I'm finally, as a Boston Celtics fan, I can see the finals again.
Yeah. It must be nice for, one of our teams make something.
I mean, maybe the Wizards down the road.
maybe by my age 30 year. Maybe by my age 30.
Age 30 year. Yeah, maybe
by age 30. We'll see. Maybe
you're messing up your back and stuff.
A couple of things fall in place. and maybe that'll happen. But going back to the Hero, like the groin injury, that's a serious injury. But Marcus Smart dang near died multiple times this season. He kept going. Like, Robert Williams' knee is literally almost on the floor. He kept going this season. So I want to feel bad, but I can't if the other team has players that are just as hurt as you. And they're just playing and they're producing. And your own player, Jimmy Butler, has been on record with his solo knee before every game. And dropped 47. Then dropped another dang near 40. So it's like, and again, it's a contract here. So it's like, why am I don't know. in a contract year, this is just not what happens. Like, this is just not what you do. In a contract year, at least we see with Baker Mayfield that he played with a freaking torn shoulder for 12 games in the NFL. Like, look, game 7 at home, you can give me 7 minutes. That's all you're capable of. You can't even be a spot up 3-point shooter for a team that needs 3-point shooting. Yeah,
you had a messed up growing. You couldn't work on your shot, like your 3-point shot.
He couldn't hit a 3 open. Like,
yeah, I understand you can't hit. Like, I understand that you can't jump a lot, but at least like work on your form. Just try to make sure your form gets consistent, like something. But he came in and he came right back out. Literally, we didn't really see anything here from Tyler Hero, who was like 0 from 2 or 0 from like 0 from 2 from the field, and he didn't make any shots at all. But how do you feel about Kyle Lowry in this series?
He's so iffy. I despise watching him play the basketball. Like, that was, even yesterday, is something that was clearly not going for Boston for the win. Like, I'm like, bro, this man is so annoying. All he does is run in front of people, fall down. He's getting charges. He's somehow like guarding the rim. Like I don't even know. Like, even on offense, like he's falling. He has one jump. He like tries to draw a foul. He like falls down with the ball. I'm like, bro, call the timeout. I'm like, bro, this man is the worst like player to watch ever. His IQ is like an A+. Like, his efficiency is like an F though. Like, he's like if you just gave Kyle Lowry like his brain to Westbrook, like Westbrook is probably still going even at this age at a higher level, because like he just knows how to do stuff in spots. Like, he didn't have the best scoring outlook. He had 15 points, if I'm not mistaken.
15 points, but he definitely had an impact. He
so
definitely made an impact.
So it's just like his impact is just so different than any other player. Like you said, I guess like Draymond type. Like, it's not stat sheet really. It's just crazy. Like he just needed probably like 22 more scores, but like at least one more score. And Bam, I think though, did come and play today. But again, Bam, you gave me 2 aggressive games in a 7-game series. It's not gonna play for a max player. Duncan Robinson once again was a no-show. We didn't see him play DNP.
Yeah, he's not going. He's like I said, he's not going to show up against us. So I think when you even play, if you went to Boston, even if they beat Boston, went to the Warriors, you gotta understand these are more two-way type of teams that's going to kill you on defense and attack you on offense. So you know what I'm saying? You got to get guys who's going to be two-way players, and that's why Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson was really unimaginable. But one thing I can say about the Celtics before we can, when we transition to the next episode on this podcast, we talk about the preview. One thing I can say, big thing what the Boston Celtics did was actually the fact that the Heat are an old team, but they're very the Heat are very, smart. And that's one thing about them. Like, they're so smart. And I think that they did a lot of things to bait the Celtics into fouls, use their inexperience against them. The Heat was a very experienced team who had guys who've been to the finals, who've been deep into the playoff runs. And I understand we got the same with the Warriors, but the Heat had that type of guys who were just more the tricky, the smart IQ.
They were still in that basketball. Goodness gracious.
Still in the bro.
They were still in that basketball.
Bro. They were still. They knew every single time how to use their hands.
Anytime Jaylen Brown tried to drive, like what we said before the last game, left, they were literally trapping his left hand, like every time on the catch. And they don't even have the Heat. Well, we know we'll get to the final, but the Heat, like, sizing, Boston has like the size matchup in this matchup and the next one. So like, it's not like the Heat were like bigger, because P.J. Tucker's your 4. So it's like he's 6'5". Marcus Smart is 6'4", 6'5". Like, that's the point guard of Boston. So like, they have the size matchup clearly. So it's gonna be interesting to see what comes forward. But my final thing about the Heat, I think if I'm a Heat fan, I'm still not upset at the series. You can get yada, they can blame calls or whatever. It went 7 games. You had a chance to win the game at the end. I think it was a great series. The sad thing about the Heat is I think this is you've climaxed now. I think this is probably
they had their ceiling, bro.
They really, like, I'm talking about, but this is a heck of a ceiling hit. Like, you got, usually when you say about hit the ceiling, like, you like, oh man, like, we got close like the Nets this year. Like, they wish, they could hit their ceiling. And you have this team that like literally tried to break through and say, F the rules, F the ceiling, we're gonna do something even completely different. They got as close as they could. They had a great series. Jimmy Butler just gained a lot of respect from a lot of people. I don't think he'll ever be questioned again. Like, no matter what happens for the following seasons, this playoff run he had, dropping 47 points in the game 6 on the road, in the Garden, like TD Garden at least, then I think he gained a lot of respect. Any final remarks?
Yeah, Celtics. I feel like the Celtics and Heat was breaking that ceiling, based on what people had preseason. I mean, I had Heat ceiling wise as conference finals. I said the players are good. They're going to be smart enough to get you to the conference finals, but I don't think they're going to break through the finals. They're not going to pass the top big guys. But I mean, they had a little easy schedule to get there. But I mean, at the end of the day, you only can play who is ahead of you, so you really can't make any excuses to that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that was a good series. All the Celtics broke through their thing. I think they're playing with house money in these conference finals, but the finals. But we'll definitely talk about that next episode, though.
Okay. Well, again, everyone saw the announcement on the Instagram. We are now the M&R Network. This is the M&R Show on the M&R Network. So again, thanks again. We have some more opportunities coming for you all later this week. So make sure to stay tuned on the Instagram. And if you're listening on YouTube, the M&R Show, make sure you are sharing this and subscribing.
Yes, make sure y'all tune in on our Instagram and on Twitter at M&R Show. We have a lot of different takes, a lot of different good things to talk about. Ron, I hope you continue talking about my Celtics on the M&R Show because you love doing the Twitter stuff. So, but make sure y'all tune in. Mont doing a good job on the Instagram. But tune in, y'all. Appreciate your support. And I'll see y'all later.
All right.